got your animation figured out and you're happy with the way it looks and you're ready to export it out, there's a number of different ways that you can go about doing it. It doesn't matter if this is in the frame by frame uh, sort of style or the video timeline style. There's lots of different ways that you can set these up, but you just want to render it out in some way that you can like play it and place it into other video editing software and stuff like that. So, a couple different things you can do, but the main thing would just be to go here to go to File, and then you want to go to Export. And you're going to have all these options, right? And so, the one that you're probably going to want to look at is this one here called render video. So it's just going to turn this whole thing into a video file that gets rendered out. You can tell it which sizes you want it to be at. You can choose where. So again, I would suggest finding your thumb drive and placing it in there someplace. Sometimes I make a new folder that's called final renders, just so I can keep track of which things are which. And then click create, and then choose, and then you can name it whatever you want to, and then just click render, and that will render that whole thing out. And if I go back into my thumb drive now and take a look, I should be able to find a video in there that just looks like this. And so when I play it now, it's gonna play that video, right? And I can see what I'm actually getting, which I'm like, oh, if I was gonna use this for real, I'd probably slow that down a little, right, and make some more adjustments. But yeah, so now you've got a thing that you could place this into Adobe Premiere or any of those other programs that you might want to be using. And it's really pretty simple. Another thing that people like to do sometimes is they like to go to File, Export, and then they like to export it out as an animated GIF, right? So if you click here on the Save for Web sort of button, it should bring up a dialog box here, and it's going to give me some options. Like it could be a JPEG, which is only going to, that would just render out like one fragment of this, right? But if I go with animated GIF there, and set it all up the way that I want it to be, there's lots of options in here. But click Save. We'll do the same thing. Maybe this time I'll just put it on the desktop, so it's a little bit easier. Click Save for that. That's going to render that thing out as an animated GIF, right? And so now, if I do that and I open that up, it'll open it up in a preview, and it shows me each frame that I have in there. And to see how it would actually like loop, you want to go ahead and like open up a web browser. So blank empty web browser. If you just click on the GIF file and drag it in and drop it, you'll see that now this is what it would look like if you placed it on a website, and it'll just loop kind of forever. So so again, there's two possible ways you could work on exporting this thing out for, maybe save it both ways if you want to, and always make sure you save the original Photoshop file, because if you do want to go back and make edits, obviously you could just open up the Photoshop file, go in there and change a few things, and then export it again. So don't lose that original Photoshop file, because that's very sad when you lose those things and you need them. So hope this helps a little bit with just the basics of how to make a Photoshop animation happen. And good luck with all the rest of the work that you're going to do with it.